In today's video, I'll be revealing my full bull market strategy to help you smash this bull run. This is a strategy that I've personally been implementing over the past 6 months to make millions in the crypto market. And this is a strategy that I'm going to stick to for the remainder of 2024, which I believe could also help you make crazy gains in the crypto market. You see, trading a bull run is very different to trading sideways markets and trading bear markets. It requires a slightly different approach. It's actually not complicated at all. It's actually quite simple. Most people simply just don't know how to approach things. So by the end of today's video, hopefully you become a bull market expert. Over the last few months, things have really started to heat up. Bitcoin has obviously gone on a massive run, rallying all the way from 20K to a new all-time high at $73,000. And things over the last couple of weeks have gotten even more degen. In the past 48 hours alone, over $100 million was given to Solana pre-sales. This really just highlights the risk appetite of the market at the moment, that people are literally willing to fork over their money, send it to a random Solana address in the hopes of hitting a big meme coin. So this meme coin mania really just highlights the current stage that we're at. It's complete mania. Book of Meme launched yesterday, over $1 billion. A new meme coin seemingly out of nowhere went to $1 billion and got major exchange listings. And in the past few hours, today, we've seen Slurf running from 0 to a 500 mil market cap. We saw GCR buying WIF NFTs. We saw WIF going on an absolute pump. A lot of other meme coins as well have been going crazy. And we're just seeing absolute degeneracy across the market. And this is being reflected as well by the Fear and Greed Index, which is now creeping in to the extreme greed category, hitting 85 on coin market cap. So there is no doubt that we are currently in full bull. But unfortunately, these conditions can become super distracting. If you're feeling overwhelmed, I don't blame you. You're seeing people make millions of dollars on Twitter gloating about their meme coin profits. You're seeing coins absolutely explode left, right, and center, and you're probably feeling a lot of FOMO. So today's video is intended to ground you a little bit and give you the real strategy that can help you unlock profits in this bull run, because this short-term meme coin trading and the short-term pumps, they're absolutely amazing, but it's not sustainable over the next 1, 2, 3, 6 month, 1 year period to help you make money in this environment. So I want to equip you with the real strategy where you can consistently make money throughout this year. And this is something, as I said, that I'm personally doing. And at the end of the video, as part of this strategy, I'm going to tell you the types of altcoins and give you some specific altcoin picks that I'm currently accumulating. So make sure you stick around until the end, not just for the guide, but also for some of the altcoin picks, so I can help guide you in the right direction as to the kinds of coins that I think are going to perform really well this run. And I do enjoy changing things up and doing these videos, because over the last few days, I've done a lot of altcoin guides and altcoin pick videos. But today I'm doing something that I haven't done in a while. And last year I actually did a video like this, which was a full guide. And this was actually about finding the next 100x Solana meme coin. And I know a lot of you are new subscribers, so maybe you weren't subbed to me at the time, but if you've actually followed the steps in this video, it was absolute alpha in my opinion. It showed you how to go through DEX tools, find new pairs, spot hot listings, how to actually execute a meme coin trade, how to go about taking profits, etc. I talked about Pepe, Bonk, and a lot more. And this was in December, 3 months ago, before all the meme coin mania. So if you watch this video, you would be well positioned. And today I'm coming again with another strategy video, because I always want to equip you with the latest strategy that is effective in the latest market conditions. So of course, if you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss videos like this and all my videos in the future where I share altcoin opportunities, guides, altcoin picks, strategies, and more. And if you haven't subscribed, help me out a little bit, because I'm trying to get over the line here. You can see here that just over 50% of people that watch these videos actually aren't subscribed. So help me flip this ratio where only 0.7% off having more subscribers than non-subscriber viewers that watch these videos. So I would appreciate it if you do click that button and find value in these videos. So to kick off the strategy, let me give you an update about what I've been doing in the market. This morning, I actually took profits. So I de-risked across the board, and this isn't to alarm you, and this isn't to tell you that I think the bull run's over, but it's part of the strategy that I'm about to outline for you, because I believe it's very important in the market. Just as you want to buy into coins low, you also want to sell high. And for me, I've been positioning myself since last year, and we got those really nice entries. I shared Solana at $19 on my top 5 cryptos to buy in September video, which was released on September 8th. I also shared it on my Twitter a multitude of times, as you can see, in the $10 to $20 region when everyone was bearish on SOL. Obviously, the price is now $200, so I was majorly up on that position. Makes sense to take some profits. A coin like Prime, which I shared in my top 5 gaming coins video back in December, when the market was still in the accumulation range, that was at $7. It's now sitting at $24. My AI video, where I gave you my top 3 AI cryptos to buy all the way back in November, almost 5 months before AI ran, where I called Render at $2.30, Adjix at 20 cents. These are all up 6-7x's now heading into the Nvidia conference. So obviously, I'm up a lot across the board, so I decided to de-risk, and there's a lesson in here. When you're significantly up, it's always wise to take some money off the table. Because here's the truth. Right now, we aren't in the early stages of a bull run anymore. Now, I saw some comments on my last video where I said that, where people were like, Miles, you say we're still early. Yes, I think you're still early to crypto. And AI crypto and gaming, like these are very early. They're nascent industries that can last for many, many years. But in terms of this bull run in 2024, objectively, we aren't early anymore. And that's okay. There's still obviously room for crypto to move a lot higher, and I believe we do. But if we're looking at it objectively, phase 1 is the accumulation phase. That was last year when I was making those accumulation videos. Then phase 2 is when the market starts to heat up. That's when, as you can see in front of you, Bitcoin begins to make this first move to the upside. And I believe now we're in phase 3. So phase 3 is this explosive period where price really starts to move, which is typically followed by a pullback and then continuation, and that is phase 5. So I do believe we're somewhere in phase 3. I don't know where exactly, but I'm just kind of telling you where I think we're in the market. So if we are in phase 3, everyone that bought in phase 1, take some profits off the table. There is nothing wrong, especially during market pumps, to take some profits. In fact, it's the responsible thing to do to replenish your stablecoin positions. Because here's the thing, I don't mean to alarm you, but typically Bitcoin does have a larger retracement of between 20 and 30% prior to the Bitcoin halving. Now, I also do accept the logic that Bitcoin is peaking pre-halving, so the dynamics are a little bit different. We may be seeing a left-leaning cycle versus the other cycle, meaning things are being expedited versus how they would typically operate. However, given the fact that the last 3 halvings, we have seen pre-halving dips, irrespective of where Bitcoin actually makes its all-time high, I'm still wary of the fact that there probably will be a general flush in this market at some point. And once again, this isn't to be alarmist, but if you do look at Bitcoin right now, this wick on the weekly isn't great. We didn't get a strong weekly close above this level. You see this wick here, it does look reminiscent of the price action that we got back in December, where you saw this wick, then we had a bigger flush, which took us all the way down from 49 to 39. Even at the top of the last bull market, we do see this price action where you wick upwards, you have that wick to the downside, very similar to this pattern, and then the next weekly candle starts to form, and then it ends up closing below. I'm not saying this is a top necessarily, I'm just saying the price action on the weekly does look a little bit toppy. And if Bitcoin did go from 60 to 62K here, I would not be surprised. In fact, this would be an amazing zone to accumulate, and I'll get through what my plan in this scenario is with the individual altcoins towards the end of the video. But a pullback to this range would be extremely healthy and certainly not out of the question. So the reason I say this is because everyone's getting caught up in bull market mania. At the start of the video, I showed you Solana meme coins exploding, fear and greed exploding, everyone going nuts. Guys, just have a little bit of objectivity and stick to a strategy. When you're significantly up on your holdings, take some profits and rotate into stablecoins. I'll show you why. Look at total 3, right? In bull markets, especially the early to mid stages, as I said, if we're in phase 3 or the end of phase 2, wherever you think we are, I think we can all agree we're between phase 2 and phase 3 of a 5-phase bull market. In this phase, you do get a lot of pullbacks, which is amazing for accumulation. Look at the total 3. This is the altcoin index from the last run. I'll show you the beginning of 2021 if we want to compare that to where we currently are. You see here this major flush at the end of December 2020. In the beginning of the year, we see another flush. We see another flush. We see another major flush happening in February. Then you have your big run up. Along the way, you have 1, 2, 3 massive flushes, a short-term reversal, which is a really big flush, and then you pump and you make your local high. So you see you've had multiple opportunities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good opportunities to accumulate throughout that period. And then the bigger flushes to the run up to the all-time high, you could probably say that we got 1, 2, 3, 4 really big flushes on the way up. So these flushes do happen. And although we've had some little ones in recent times, if you actually look at what we've currently had, we've only really had one big one. You can maybe count this recent one as substantial as well. So we've had 1 or 2. We've had one here, which was in the beginning of March, which was actually just mostly a leverage wick. So you would have had to have had limit orders to catch this. Something I recommend, by the way, is setting limit orders on strong coins. We'll get into that. And then you could argue that this recent one was also a major dip. But compared to the ones from the last bull run, these still haven't been major dips yet. So the whole point of me showing you that is to say, look, it's very natural in a bull market to get major dips. And I need you to be prepared to maximize those dips. Why? Because dips in a bull market are golden opportunities to accumulate. So here's a very simple bull market strategy for you. It doesn't get more simple than this. It's something that I actively do, and it's the reason why I took profits today. I'll tell you. Your objective in a bull market is to maximize your positioning while minimizing your risk. This gives you the strongest risk-adjusted returns in the market. Now, in order to do this, what you need to do is on extreme green days, you want to take some profits. This doesn't mean selling everything. It just means taking profits. I did a take profits guide a few days ago. Usually it means scraping 20 to 30% of positions that have done super well, 2, 3, 4x. Every 2x, take 20, 30% off, put it into stablecoins. So that way, every time you have an extreme green day, you're actually replenishing your stables. Now, the amount of stablecoins that you keep on the side depends on your risk tolerance. Me personally, I like to keep 20% of my portfolio in stablecoins at all times. Now, recently this number went a little bit low. It actually went into the single digits, and that's why I took profits today, because I always like to recalibrate and make sure I have dry powder. Why do I want dry powder? Because when we get these major red days, like I've just showed you, you want dry powder to be able to pull the trigger on strong coins. You also want dry powder to be able to go into exchanges and set limit orders at strategic levels in case you get these leverage wicks down and some of your bids get filled at very attractive prices. If you're all in the market and you never take profits during a bull run, it's a major mistake. Why? Because you'll never have dry powder on these very strong accumulation days. So my strategy in the market becomes simple. On green days, siphon off some profits, replenish my stablecoin balance. On extreme red days, and as I said, Bitcoin could theoretically pull back to the low to mid 60s and still be in a bullish trend. If that does happen and alts go down 20, 30%, you will wish you had some stablecoins on the side. Now, it doesn't need to necessarily be through your crypto portfolio. I'm full-time crypto, right? So I rely on this industry for my income. So I don't have the luxury of having a non-crypto reliant job. I've got other investments, but they aren't paying enough income for me compared to my portfolio, right? To hold my positions and use that as a way to subsidize. If you have a very strong income outside of crypto, if you earn a lot from your job, maybe you can justify holding 100% and using that new fresh income as a way to top up your stablecoins without actually having to sell. I can't answer that question for you. It depends on your situation, but I would say for 90% of people out there that have a reasonable income or maybe a lower income, you're probably going to want to take profits to make sure you've got adequate stablecoins. So that is the first step. It's obviously taking profits, but let's move on to the fun part, which is buying, because I know taking profits is not fun for a lot of you. It's important, but I also respect it's not fun because it doesn't feel like where the money's made, although it is. So let's get into phase 2, which is actually buying. So on these dips, what coins do you buy? Well, the first step to knowing what to buy is actually in preparation. What you need to do is you need to create a watch list. So set up a TradingView account or a CoinGecko account, or you can even do it in Google Sheets or Apple Notes, whatever you want, but TradingView is the best because then you can set levels and alerts. Create a watch list and add to your accumulation list. So this list should be a list of coins that you want to buy on the next dip. That way, you're never gonna not know what to buy. When there's a major dip, you'll either already have limit orders for these coins at key support levels, or you're gonna know exactly what to look for to go and manually buy. How do you create this list? Well, a lot of you will already have coins that you'll want to buy that you can just add off the top of your head, but I've got an even more strategic method to finding these coins. What I do is I go into Velo. Every time there's a minor dip, and we've had many minor little dips over the last few months. I mean, you could argue this is a bigger one, but in the context of the time that it lasted, this was a minor dip on March 5th because it got eaten up super quick. Even the dip a couple days ago, a lot of alts are now higher than they were pre-dip, so you could call this a minor dip in the scheme of things, although percentage-wise, they were major dips, sitting at from the peak of the wick to the bottom 20%. But these happen super quick, right? You do sometimes get these sustained dips. We saw this in late December where it's a few weeks of a dip. And as I said, last bull run, we also had these periods where you saw, this was a very long one in June, but even here, back in February 2021, you did see 2 weeks of a consistent dip. So if we see like a 1 to 2 week sell-off, where sentiment starts to shift a little bit, that's a very good time to accumulate, and you can use these shorter term dips to tell you what coins perform the strongest during those periods. So what do? Well, I go back to some of these dips. I'll use the March 17th dip 2 days ago as an example. So we go to March 17. What you want to do is you want to go into Velo, click on charts, and select a screen where you can have multiple charts up at once. If you want to get fancy, you can actually have 8 charts at once. You can even, I think, have 10 or 12 charts. I like to just do 4 because it's easier for me to see, and I have different default ones saved that I could toggle between. What you want to do is you want to compare the strongest altcoins that you extract from CoinGecko or Bound to Bubbles, right, with other altcoins that you would like to accumulate, and you want to identify which coins held up the strongest. So here I've got Solana. See how it's actually trading higher now than it was pre-dip? So it dipped, now it's trading higher. AVAX the exact same, it dipped, now it's trading higher. You compare this to a coin like ETH. ETH dipped and it's trading pretty much similar to where it dipped. Stargate dipped, it bounced, slightly better than ETH, so this is a medium one, but it still hasn't made a new high. You want to look for the coins that actually made a new high, or at least bounced enough to come close to recovering the entire dip. Why? Because these are the strong coins in the market. This is the market showing its hand and actually telling you these are the strongest coins right now. So the next time you have a major dip, you can accumulate these coins. So it's actually these coins you want to add to your trading view or your CoinGecko list, the strong ones that you notice are holding up, because these are the ones that when the market continues to the upside and resumes post-dip, that are likely to perform the strongest. So in front of you, I've got a bunch of them that you can look at. I've got SOL, AVAX, Sane, Near, Phantom, etc. You can go through and you can look. But of course, there are a lot more. This is just my personal accumulation list. There are a lot of coins that aren't on here because I feel like I have a big enough bag and I don't need to add more. Anything where I want more exposure, I add to my dip buy list. I highly recommend that you create your own because this is the only way that you're in a dip you'll know what to buy. So of course, the first step is taking profits on green days. But then the second step is executing on these buys on red days. And it kind of feels unnatural, right? Because it's a bull market. You just want to ape into everything all the time. The problem is, if you follow the emotions of the market, you're going to end up succumbing to the market. And the market has a very good habit of making you its exit liquidity. Do not become the market's exit liquidity. The way to get around this is actually to kind of counteract your emotions a little bit. You think I wanted to take profits this morning? I woke up and my Joe position was up a few 100%. My WIF long was also up a few 100%. Like I was printing. My AI longs pre-NVIDIA, absolutely printing. I made a tough call this morning to take 15-20% off the table. I don't like to do that. I'm feeling FOMO now because a couple of them continued to go up afterwards, but that's just what you have to accept for being a responsible market participant. Now I have stable coins on the side. If there is a major dip, I'm now able to go in with more ammunition while everyone else is panicking. I'll be buying coins on my dip buying list. Now, if the market continues to run, I'm not fussed because, okay, maybe I have 15-20% cash now, but I'm still 80 to 85% in the market. I've got the best of both worlds. So bull market positioning is all about calibrating so you're happy either way. You've got enough exposure so you're happy when the market pumps, but you're not overexposed so you're stressed when the market dumps. And that is the real key of bull market trading. It's actually so important because this market will find a way to turn you into a horrible, greedy human being. It really, really does. It brings out the greed in people because no other industry in the world moves this quick and moves this violently. Now, on dips, what are some of the coins I'll be looking at buying? And if there is a major flush, like this Rect Capital tweet that suggests there could be a pre-halving dip, what kind of coins am I looking at? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is layer 1 coins. The layer 1 trade is back. Solana's leading the way. AVAX is leading the way. I did a video yesterday where I go through all of the layer 1s. I'll link it in the description. I recommend watching it. A lot of these are on my accumulation list because I think the market loves gravitating towards infrastructure plays. The next coins on my list are artificial intelligence coins. The NVIDIA conferences today, I took profits on a lot of them because I just feel like conference sometimes put in local tops. So I'm just trying to be a little bit risk averse, but there are alts post-conference that if they dip, I would love to add some more of. I'll go through a few of them. AOLs I really like. I think this as kind of an L1 deep in AI bet could go higher. Golem has some interesting stuff happening at the moment. You guys know RSS3 is a token that I also like. It's climbing up the rankings. By the way, called this in the mid 20 cents, went all the way to 60, already started to pull back to 50. There are some coins down the list. AIT, I think, has more room to run. I'm not actually in them, but PAL is one that I'm interested in. I know Becca's been shilling it a lot. So there are a lot of coins here, especially down the list, that I am interested in the AI space. Now, as I find more, I'll keep you updated. So all the subscribers of the channel will get my latest AI picks I'll do a new guide soon. We've absolutely killed it on these trades, by the way, since my first video, not only last year, for the Render, FET, AGIX 6Xs, even a few weeks ago, a lot of those coins are up 2-3Xs in a very short amount of time. So it's been amazing. Take some profits off the table if you're up, but these are the ones that I would love to accumulate on dips because I'm very bullish. Forget shorter term. I think AI will be $1 trillion sector. It's a 25 bill. Longer term, there's so much upside to just accumulate and hold. So when I say take profits, I'm not saying like exit your entire position. I'm just saying if you're accumulating and holding, skim some off the top, reinvest lower. Like it's that simple. And even if it's not lower, at least you're getting in on a red day to tokens that are showing strength. A lot of the gaming coins as well, I've definitely got my eye on. Beam I like, Immutable I like, but going down the list, there are definitely a few games that I want to accumulate more of. Marvi is one that I've been very public about. I want to accumulate more of that, but I'm also in a couple positions. Aether Games, Forgotten Playland, I'm investor in both. There's some upcoming launches that I really like. Some of the studios as well are at decent valuations. Naka, PYR, I think some of these perform really well. Metaverses like Wilder World are still at a reasonable valuation, 146. So gaming tokens, any major dips, I'll be buying. I think at some point we see a major rotation here. And meme coins. Meme coins are still hot. A lot of the SOL ones, I think you're going to see a lot of Burj Khalifa style pump and dump looking charts. But some of the leaders like WIF, I'm a big fan of WIF. Once again, called this at 120, now at 323, looking to add to my position there. Pepe, I still think has some upside, but only on major dips. Things like Book of Meme, I'm not 100% convinced on because they're newer, and I'm just not sure. I get dodgy vibes from it. Myro has a good community. Toshi on base, I think a lot of good stuff is happening over on base. So these are some of the meme coins that I'm looking at. But of course, it's a risky space. Risky spaces, though, mean you do get bigger drawdowns because they're more volatile. So these are nice ones to add on dips. Looking at some of the strong meme coins that have recovered recently, and with Pepe definitely do come to mind. So to summarize, this strategy is essentially in two parts. The first part is making sure you're taking profits on green days. The next part is accumulating the strong altcoins that you identify in accordance with your list on red days. You can have a combination of setting limit orders to catch those wicks to the downside at major resistance levels, and you can also do it manually. But if you are going to do it manually, just promise yourself you're going to trade like a robot, because so many times the market dips and everyone gets scared, it's going to keep dipping. Well, just like you taking profits and not knowing whether the market's going to keep going up, it's the exact same as buying and not knowing whether the market's going to dip. It's the same logic. You're never going to time the top or the bottom. You ladder out. You don't take all your profits at once, and you don't buy all at once. You try and catch a rough time frame, and no, you're not going to get the bottom, but you're going to get the average of the general zone. If you think the bull market has more upside, the average of a general dip zone is generally going to play out pretty well in 3, 6 months, 1 year, etc. So I hope you enjoyed this type of video, a little bit different type of video, more of a strategy, but I also want to make sure I'm helping navigate you guys based on the ever-changing market conditions. Because if I just give altcoin picks every day, I feel like it lacks context. I do need to do these videos to give you context as well as to how to actually trade these alts. Because I have no doubt a lot of my altcoin picks will perform really well, but you're going to hurt your ability to make profits off a lot of those alts if you're not timing it correctly or you don't go in with the right strategy. It's actually about the price that you buy sometimes more than the asset itself. That's a very important lesson to learn in crypto. So I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next video tomorrow, continuing with the daily upload streak. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come join the family, and I will see you later. Have a lovely rest of your day. Peace out.